1:08 left in the first. So for Toronto right now, Amir Johnson at the 4 with Valanciunas at the pivot. Williams and Ross at the 2 and 3. And it's Ford in at point guard. And while there's a break, here's a collection of the shooting guards that have made an impact with their passing this season. The leading assist men among two guards. 5th, Lewis Williams.
That list of players just goes to show that great passing doesn't just come from the point. And the way these guys distribute the ball from the 2 spot is really a thing of beauty.
And, Steve, if you want to take your place among the great shooting guards in the NBA, you have to be able to do more than score. You got to pass it as well. And a lot of these guys can.
Free throw good, Paul George.
You have to wonder, as we've seen Paul George go from good to great and then from great to fantastic the last couple of seasons, what's his ceiling? I mean, with his size and skill set, there's very little that he can't do on the floor.
Well, Clark, for Paul George, it's incredible to think that he was taken as late as he was in the draft, but as you said earlier, his ceiling is through the roof, and he's right up there with LeBron and KD as the best threes in the game.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. Really nice to watch his development because he's made progress each year. It'll take an incredible amount of hard work for him to surpass either of those two in the grand scheme of things, but I wouldn't doubt anything when it comes to Paul George's ceiling. It's just going to be a matter of his commitment to the work and staying focused on realizing his tremendous God-given ability.
Shot clock at 6, and once again off the mark by Indiana.
Poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
For Toronto, they have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far. And mark that bucket down, folks. That's the first career basket from 4.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how you make your first bucket. Just put it in the basket. Just get a little boost of confidence and show that you belong.
And he does belong, guys, that's for sure. I mean, this team is ecstatic to have him on their roster. He's got promise and the confidence to realize that promise.
Here's George. Good on the 13-footer. George has got 6 points.
You know, that's one way he can finish, but not the only way. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
Here's Ford. And that's not going to go. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right. For Indiana. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. Scola comes in for West. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for George Hill. And it's Watson in for Donald Sloan. A new group in now for the Raptors. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Patterson. Terrence Ross comes in for DeMar DeRozan. Williams, he's checked in for Vasquez. And it's the kid in for Kyle Lowry. George and Scola, they're the forwards. Rodney Stuckey out there with Watson. And it's Mahinmi in at the 5 down low. That's the Pacers 5. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, David West is one of the most consistent guys in the entire NBA. Not only with his production, but with his demeanor on a team. As Coach Frank Vogel said, West has poise and composure. He's our rock. There's no other way to put it. He's a leader for them, Kevin, on and off the court.
A steady vet. Thank you, Doris.
Yeah, one of the savviest players you'll see, no doubt.
Here is Watson. The Raptors getting the bucket. Now the feed to George. It's good, and Watson picking up the assist. That's 12 points here for George.
Well, offensively, he's taken a solid opening quarter and just built on it here in the second.
Ford kicks to Ross. He feeds it to Ford. Six to shoot. Ross on the wing. He's covered by Watson. Not often you see him take that shot. Ford's got 5 now.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
And George, here we go. Blocked. Now the Raptors moving it up. Got it up. An absolutely remarkable shot at the buzzer.
Was it ever? It doesn't get any better than that.
And that does it for the first half of play. Indiana out.
Okay, good job battling them out there. Let's talk about some crucial areas from the first half. What's gotten...
We have a close ball game on the Pacers. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. Scola comes in for George. And it's Watson in for George Hill. And Toronto will go for a different look here. Chuck Hayes, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Johnson comes in for Patrick Patterson. Vasquez, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's the kid in for Kyle Lowry. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Ford, he's in at point guard. Ross and Johnson there, the forwards. Vasquez out there with Hayes. Here is Watson. So no problem.
The bad news is we play like a 50-year-old rec league bum, and we lost the game. You're supposed to ask me what the good news is.
What's the good news?
Good news is I don't think you could play it any worse.
Is this supposed to be making me feel better?
Nah, man. It's supposed to make you understand that it ain't just you. We all got to work if we're going to do something special this year. So put this one behind you. Learn from it and move on, all right?
Yeah, all right. But a 50-year-old bum, though?
If the shoe fits.
Come on, man.
they call the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, the home of the Raptors, where we're broadcasting live. 2K Sports is proud to present Toronto's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Raptors in the city of Toronto is set to host the All-Star Game in 2016. Toronto has already contributed $500,000 to help host the event.
Well, you know, the city is one of the great cities in the world.
It is.
And they're excited. That city's excited to showcase itself as an entertainment destination. And for the NBA, a chance to make further inroads in the hockey-obsessed country.
On the court right now for the Kings, Landry and Cousins patrol the paint. Allison runs the point. Rostowski's at the 2. And it's Gay in at the 3. The Raptors making a switch here. Ford's checked in.
Wasn't really the dream scenario that he wanted in his first game. He struggled at times, and of course his team lost as well.
And the one thing he can take to heart is that a lot of players have had rough starts to their careers. That's not uncommon. They'll just have to keep working to get better.
Back to DeRozan. The dish to Patterson. 6 to shoot. Another shot, and he hits the jump shot.
And along with the All-Star Game, the Raptors looking forward to a rebrand next season. New colors. They considered blue and white like the short-lived professional team, the Toronto Huskies. Black and gold, another direction.
Here's Collison. Toronto grabs the miss. Valanciunas has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Gay against Ford. Takes the 3. Cannot hit.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
Yeah, and even though it's early, I mean, that's a great sign for them for the rest of the game.
The drive by Collison, and Cousins gets it to go.
And the Raptors certainly influenced by the Nets, who rebranded themselves in the move from New Jersey to Brooklyn. They went from dead last in the league in merchandise sales to top 5. That's a heck of a turnaround.
Patterson, the screen. 4 dishes to Patterson. Johnson kicks to Patterson. Puts it up from 12. Goes back up.